Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this new series, we are going to build a complete to-do list application using Django. By the end, you will have a fully functional application where you can add, complete, and delete tasks. You can even undo the tasks. In this first episode, we will set up our development environment and create the basic Django project. So let's dive in. The first thing that we need to do, let's see what we are going to build. So this is the to-do list that we are going to build. You can add your new tasks here. So for example, let's have our first tasks to be buying groceries. Like that, you can add it. Visit my aunt, add it. So in this to-do list, you can add your tasks, you can complete your tasks, you can undo your tasks, you can delete your tasks, like that. So this is what we are going to do. Having said that, now let's dive in. Prerequisite and the setup of this project. You have to ensure that you have Python, at least Python 3.8 installed in your machine. And you need to understand some basic knowledge of Python, whereby you understand the variables, functions, and classes. You need to have a code editor. In this case, I'm using VS Code, of which that is the code editor that I'm recommending. Then you need to understand you need to open your prompt or command prompt and be ready. In this case, I'm going to use this command prompt, the terminal of VS Code. Let's start creating virtual environment. First of all, we need to create a project directory. We have created. Now let's change to our project directory. So cd Django to do app, hit enter. Let me clear the terminal like that. Okay. Now let's create the virtual environment. So Python 3.13, 3.14, that is my Python version that is involved. I'm going to use that exact version to create my virtual environment. VNV, and let me call my virtual environment .env. Hit enter. Give it a few seconds to create that virtual environment. Once it has finished creating virtual environment, the next thing that we need to do is to activate this virtual environment. So if you are on Windows, this is how you will activate this virtual environment. Remember, the virtual environment name is .env. So if you are on Windows, this is how you activate your virtual environment. .env, and then use the / and then scripts, and then / activate. I want you to notice that on the scripts part, the S is the capital letter. Okay, so this is for those who are using Windows. Type this and hit enter. You will be able to activate your virtual environment. For those who are using Mac or Linux like me, I'm using Linux Debian distro. This is how you will activate. So source, and then we give our environment name .env bin, and then activate. Hit enter. You will only understand if your virtual environment has been activated if you see something like this. If you see something like this, then your virtual environment has been activated. So why are we using virtual environment? We use virtual environments to keep our project dependencies isolated from other Python projects. Let's install Django, because we are going to use Django to create this project. So install Django. Hit enter and give it a few seconds to install. Once it has installed, let me clear the terminal. The next thing that we need to do, we need to start a new Django project. Okay, so to start a new Django project, it's simple. You type Django admin start project, and then we give this project name. So we'll call it to do project, and then we have that dot at the end. The reason why I'm using this dot, this means that create this Django project in the current directory. So hit it enter, and it will create this Django project inside the current trajectory. You can see directory now you can see our to-do project has been created. And now this is our structure. We have our main folder that is containing our Django project, and then we have a virtual environment, and then we have created a to-do project. If I open this to-do project, inside to-do project we have init.py file, we have SGI, settings, URLs, and WSGI. Let's run the development server. Let me clear this first, and then say Python manage py run server. Now the server is running. We can confirm that if I open on my browser and go to the local host, you will see the installed worked successful. Let me close this server. The next part, once we have successfully created our Django project and we have confirmed that it is running successfully, the next thing that we need to do is now we need to create a to-do app. So to create a to-do app is very simple. You will do Django admin start app, and we give app name, which is to do. You can notice when you are creating the project, this part was start project, and when you are creating an app, we are using start app. Let's hit enter. You can see the to do app has been created. In Django, a project can contain multiple apps. Our to do functionality will be its own app in this case. Now, what we need to do, we need to update our to do project settings file, this file. Okay, so we need to add our own new app to the installed apps here, and we add our newly created app called like that. The next thing that we need to do, we need to create a to do model. So we will go here. Next, we'll open our do application and open models.py file. Let's create our model. Task is our model. Let me create this. So we'll say class task, which will inherit from models.model. I want you to notice the model, its M is capital letter, and then we need to define our fields. The first field is title, which inherits from models.character field. So it takes characters, and we have to define the max length to 255. The next, we need to have a completed models, which is a Boolean field. So it accepts true or false. So Boolean field. And then let's define a default. So the default goes to false. And then we have the time it was created. So created equals to, this will be a date time field. So models.date time field, this one. And we say auto now add equals to true. And then now we need to return the string representation. So if string text in self, and then it returns the title. So return self.title. This is return, not returns, like that. Models. So models defines our database structure, and then we have this field, character field, which is char field. This is for text, and then we have the Boolean field. This is for true or false, and then we have a date time field, which is for timestamps, and then we have this auto now add, which is equals to true, which automatically sets the creation date. So if you create that task at that time, it automatically picks that date, timestamp, and adds it. Now, once you have created your models, you need to do database migration. So to do database migration, you need to say Python manage py make migrations. Hit enter, and then so when you create this, you will notice that the migration files have been created. So when you run this command python manage.py make migrations, it creates a migration file. So here you can see we have migration folder that has been created, and we have this file that has been created. Okay, you can see it. And then now we need to apply these migrations to the database. To apply the migrations to database, you need to run python manage py migrate. Okay, so that those tables that were being created can be created in our database. So migrations are how Django tracks and applies changes to our database schema. So in this episode, we have set up our development environment. We have created a new Django project. We have built our task model, and then we have set up the the database. Okay, you can see the database has been created and we have migrated we have migrated our migration files. So in the next video, we will explore Django's amazing admin panel and learn how to add, edit, and delete tasks through it. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. So the GitHub link is in the description. You can find all the code we wrote today there. See you in the next one.